Okay, hello first graders. Today we are looking at lesson 5-4. They're going to ask us to solve word problems with 3 addends. So remember, an addend are the numbers that we use in an equation to add. So normally we've been used to seeing 2 addends. Today we're going to have 3. And we're going to find that on page 317 in our books. So if you can go ahead and make sure you have your materials out. I'm going to go ahead and share my workspace with you here. Here we go. We're on lesson 5-4. You can see 5-4. My page number is 317. And on this page, I have some of my friends from my book with some fruit in front of them. Looks like Daniel, Jada, and Carlos are there. And I'm going to go ahead and read the story that Carlos is sharing with us, and you can follow in your book. Carlos says, I have 6 oranges. Alex has 2 pears. Oh, I thought his name was Daniel. Looks like it's Alex. Good thing we read. Let me start again. I have 6 oranges. Alex has 2 pears. And Jada has 4 apples. How many pieces of fruit do we have in all? Write 2 different addition equations to solve the problem. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is identify my important information, right? So we know that Carlos says he has 6 oranges. We know that Alex has 2 pears. And we know that Jada has 4 apples. And the question that they're asking us is, how many pieces of fruit do we have in all? And in all are key words that clue us in to the operation, which is addition. So whenever we hear in all, we know we're going to be adding. Okay? All right, so let's go ahead and notice that they're asking us to write 2 different addition equations to solve. So we're going to be writing one equation here and then one below. So I can start by noticing the order that the picture gives us, right? I see that Alex has 2 pears. So I can write 2 for my first addend. Jada has 4 apples. So I can write 4 for my second addend. And then Carlos has 6 oranges, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I can write 6 for my last addend. And now I'm going to add those numbers up. Okay, I'm going to break it down into smaller pieces. So what is 2 plus 4 to begin with? Okay, you might have that in your long-term memory already. Or another strategy you can use is to scoop up the bigger number and count on the smaller. So we can do that. 4, 5, 6. Good, so if you said 6, you are correct. So now I have 6 plus 6. Hey, that's a double, right? A lot of you I know are getting those doubles into your long-term memory. 6 plus 6 gives me a sum of 12. If you want to check that, we can scoop up 6 and count on 6 more. It sounds like this. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I landed at 12, right? Good. Okay, so in my first equation, I did 6 plus 4, 2 plus 4 plus 6 equals 12. But they want me to do one additional equation. So what if we write our numbers this time in the order that Carlos talks about them? So he starts off by saying that he has 6 oranges. So I'm going to start by putting 6 here at the beginning. Then he tells us Alex has 2 pears. So we're going to write 2 for our second addend. And he finishes by telling us Jada has 4 apples. So I'm going to put 4 for my last addend. Okay, so I'm going to again start with my first 2 addends, but this time there's 6 plus 2, right? Well, what is 6 plus 2? Let's scoop up 6 and count on 2 more. 6, 7, 8. Okay, now I know 6 plus 2 gives me 8. So now I can think about 8 plus 4, right? Scoop up 8, count on 4 more. Here we go. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Look at that, boys and girls. I got the same sum as I did for my first equation, which makes sense because I have the same add-ins, they're just in a different order, right? Okay, great job on this. If you need more time, you can go ahead and pause the video, take a few more minutes with it. I'm going to go ahead and move us ahead to the next page. And here's Carlos with another story to share. He says Vince collects red rocks. He separates them into 3 baskets. How many red rocks does he have in all? Okay, so here are his baskets. He has 5 in the first, 4 in the next, and 6 in the last. Carlos says, I can add 4 plus 5 first and then add 6, right? So he begins with 4 plus 5. 4 plus 5 equals 9 altogether, right? Let's confirm that. I'm going to start with 5 and count on 4 more. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yep, 9. Now I'm going to take that 9, he writes it there, and I'm going to add that last group, which is 6. So 9 plus 6 equals, Carlos has 15. Let's confirm that. We're going to scoop up 9. These were 9 altogether. We're going to scoop those up, and we're going to count on 6 more. Here we go. 9, count with me, please. 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. I get a sum of 15. Okay, so let's look at what Carlos does next. He says, I can add 4 plus 6 to make 10, and then add 5. Okay, so now he's switched the order that he's adding them in. Instead of starting with 5 plus 4, this time he starts with 6 plus 4. Okay, so he has 4 plus 6 equals 10, and then 10, these two together, plus 5 more, plus 5 equals 15. Okay, so he just did 2 different ways of ordering and adding those add-ins. In the last box, he says, I can group the number either way. The sum is the same. And then he just recaps what he did. In the beginning, he did 5 plus 4, and that equaled 9, plus 6 more equals 15. And in the second round, he did 4 plus 6 first. That gave him 10, plus 5 more gave him 15. But either way, he got a sum of 15. So he can say at the end, Vince has 15 red rocks. Okay, so we're going to get more practice in our guided practice with adding multiple or at least 3 add-ins. So let's go ahead and look at the directions. It says write an equation to solve each problem. Choose a way to group the add-ins. Here we go with number 1. I'm going to read and you can follow in your book, okay? Tess finds some shells at the beach. She finds 7 pink shells, 3 black shells, and 4 white shells. How many shells does Tess find in all? Okay, now, again, when I have word problems, it's really important to identify our important information. So what's important to know here is that she had 7 pink, 3 black, and 4 white. Those are the numbers I'm going to need to add. So she writes that in her equation. We can trace it. 7 plus 3 plus 4. Good. Okay. The question asks, how many does Tess find in all? There's those in all clue words telling us that we're adding, right? Okay. Now I'm going to go ahead and start by adding 7 plus 3 to begin with. What is the sum of 7 plus 3? Let's scoop up 7 and count on 3 more. 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, I get a sum of 10. So I'm going to go ahead and just put a little caret there, and I'm going to write 10. And if you don't want to write the caret, that's okay. You can just write the 10 because the space is a little bit tight. Okay, so now I know I have 10 and I need to add 4 more to that. So now I'm going to scoop up this 10 and I'm going to add 4 more. Okay, here we go. 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. All right, I have a total of 14. So I'm going to go ahead and just fill that in. That altogether, Tess has 14 shells. All right, let's take a look at number 2 and get some more practice. Tom sees some birds. He sees 4 red birds. Go ahead and identify. 2 bluebirds and 6 blackbirds. The question is, how many birds does Tom see in all? Notice that in all, keywords, right? Okay, so I know I need 4 for one add-in, plus 2, plus 6. It's not a nice 2. Let me go ahead and try and make that look a little better. There we go. That's better. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and start by adding 4 plus 2 to begin with. Okay, so 4, 5, 6. Okay, I have 6. Now, I normally like to put it up here, but this is kind of squished, guys, so I'm just going to put my 6 right here. Okay, 4 and 2 gives me 6. So now I can think about 6 plus 6. Well, 6 plus 6 is a double that I bet some of you already have in your long-term memory. Let's go ahead and scoop up the 6 and count on 6 more and see what we get. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, those of you who said 12 for 6 plus 6, you guys were right. Great job. So altogether, Tom sees 12 birds. Okay, alrighty friends, let's go ahead then and take a look at the independent practice. For your independent practice, it says write, it's asking you to write an equation to solve each problem, and then choose a way to group the add-ins. Okay, so let's take a look at number 3 and at least set the problem up together. Pat has cards of his favorite athletes. He has, I'm going to underline 8 baseball cards, 2 football cards, and 3 basketball cards. The question is, how many cards does he have in all? There's my in all. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and fill in my numbers then. I know my first, or one of my add-ins is 8. Another add-in is 2. And another one is 3. Okay, so 8 plus 2 plus 3. So I'm going to go ahead and start with 8 plus 2. Scoop up 8 and count on 9, 10. So 8 plus 2 gives me 10. I'm just going to write 10 underneath here. So now I can think about 10 plus 3. So I'm going to scoop up 10 and I'm going to count on 3 more. It sounds like this: 10, 11, 12, 13. I get a sum of 13. So now I'm going to write in here that altogether he has 13 cards. Okay. All right. So you are going to then look at number 4 and try that one on your own. Okay. Down below, it's asking us to write the missing numbers for each problem. So notice it looks a little different because that equal sign is at the beginning of the problem. But just like we've been working on this week, all we do is identify where that equal sign, and we know it has to be the same on both sides, right? So let's take a look at number 5 together. 16 equals 7 plus something plus 6. Okay, so I know on one side I have 16, which means on this side I also need 16. So far I have 7 plus 6. What is 7 plus 6? Let's scoop up 7 and count on 6 more to find out. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Okay, so I have 13 right now. 7 plus 6 is 13. Just going to write a little 13 down here to help me remember. But I need 16. How many more would I need to add? Well, we can scoop up 13 and count on till 16 to find out. Let's do it together. 13, 14, 15, 16. Look at that, guys. I just added to add 3 more. Just needed to add 3 more. Now, 16 equals or is the same as 7 plus 3 plus 6, because that gives me 16 altogether. Okay? All right. So you can go ahead and try number 6. If you're feeling comfortable with this strategy, go ahead and take a peek at 7 and 8 too. If you complete 4 and 6 and you're feeling like, oh my gosh, my brain is really full now, that's okay. You can stop there. Okay, so you guys have a choice today. For sure, do numbers 4 and 6. And then if you want to give it a shot and do numbers 7 and 8, then that's really great. I welcome you to try those. Okay. All right. Any questions come up, you can always reach out. Other than that, I'll be seeing you guys real soon, but I hope you have a great rest of the day. Okay? All right, guys, take care. Bye.